Hey guys, I'm Hunter with Nelson Insurance. I'm just gonna talk about how we had a pretty nice month. We've had a couple really nice months. If you guys don't know my agency or anything like that, we've been around since May of 22. I started the agency with no prior experience. I graduated high school, already had the incorporation and my license and stuff like that formed. Um, so yeah, don't recommend it, but that's what we did. So yeah, I mean, we started as personal lines, got into the commercial space, and November 23, I hired another agent, and coming like April, all the way up to July, we had some pretty killer months. So it was me and one other agent. I was running the office. I had a couple other employees, and yeah, I mean, shoot, in April I wrote a 200 some thousand dollar account. In May, I wrote a $80,000 account. So we ended the month in April at like, gosh, I don't even know if I wrote 200,000, probably about a 300. I think it was like 290 month. The other month after that, May, we had about a little over 200. Next month after that, we did about 390 because I wrote a $330,000 account. And the month after that, I presented a $330,000, another $330,000 account, and they ended up going out of business. It was way too much. I don't blame them. They just claims were horrible. Really, just not a really good fit. And they're like, hey, yeah, that's incredible. They got non-renewed twice. They got non-renewed by Progressive, and yeah, the next best option was 330. That was a trucking count with 8 trucks. So if you guys are in the trucking space, you know, gosh, what even is the math on that? About $40,000 a truck. That's incredibly expensive. So, yeah, really good months there. And I'm recording this now in September. Last month, August, we had one agent do $270,000 alone, and that was not a big count. He wrote a $105,000 account, an $80,000 account, a $33,000 account, $6,000 accounts, and like a couple other maybe miscellaneous ones, all trucking. And so, yeah, kind of how we did that when it came back to those 4 accounts earlier that I was talking about. So those are just kind of some of the big months. I'll just kind of explain those just because I remember all these months very well. Because when I first had those months, I was like, holy crap. I remember just a couple months before that, I was writing a $30,000 account. I'm like, man, this new record. And I just kind of took off from there. So, first one, $200,000 account, custom harvester. One of the hardest things I've ever had to insure. I have talked to every single farm and ranch and agribusiness carrier. Nobody will write them besides Grinnell, and they have to be traveling inside the states that Grinnell writes in, which is not many. And so my guy wouldn't even qualify for him, and I don't have Grinnell in general. No nationwide, no nothing. Even these guys got listed on their website, people aren't really writing it. So I split up the account all around, saved them money on every single line, not a ton of money, but every single line kind of saved money and ended up working out. And so I did that. I got the lead from Trusted Choice, believe it or not. Probably one of the like very few good leads I got from Trusted Choice. And yeah, they're a really good account. They've continued to grow. They're really good. One of the biggest accounts we have in the agency right now. And yeah, I mean that worked out really well. I had a lot of good relationships with my underwriters. I actually had a ambulance underwriter come to Sioux Falls, introduce herself, took us out to lunch because I'd called her asking about info on one of her products, and so she actually introduced me to a couple underwriters. And so I wrote the inland marine over there. I wrote the auto with Berkshire. At the time, I had the GL with Nautilus, which I ended up moving to Berkeley Agribusiness through XBT, and then the work comp is through Zenith. So yeah, just really did that. It was with a smaller agency, big account with a little tiny hometown agency, you know. So yeah, there's that. With the next one there, they were getting non-renewed by Acuity for a second non-payment at this time. I really should have kind of thought more into that stuff because he still does non-pay and whatever. But no, he's an all around nice guy, really nice guy. And he had a quote through Berkshire again. Berkshire, I don't really read a whole lot of Berkshire, but happened to here. Um, I had a quote with Berkshire. It was the only one he'd ever gotten a quote back from his incumbent. But because of like two claims, they weren't physical damage on it. Like, oh, I got a monoline physical damage guy on it. And so paired the account up, wrote physical damage to somebody else, wrote Berkshire, at renewal, moved everything to Berkshire. So that was a really good deal there. Next one had a guy who's buying a trucking company, and they were with Prime. If you guys know anything about trucking, you guys know Prime is extremely expensive, and there's probably something wrong with the account. And there kind of was. So did that. He was doing an asset purchase, so no drivers, no nothing came over. So I was really just buying the trucks and trailers, and so basically a new venture with 14 trucks. I ended up, and they're all, and granted, it's like, holy crap, 330,000 for 14 trucks, really expensive. But this guy had pollution. I actually don't even think I wrote all of it for 330,000. I can't remember exactly what it all was. Like the AL for itself was 158. And if you guys know anything about that, like that's incredibly cheap for a new venture on 14 trucks. Crazy cheap. And so I wrote that the cover whale because at the time they were taking new venture the 14 trucks, or so they told me. Then I wrote the PD elsewhere, got him cargo through a broker that had pollution on it, just one driver E&O, fantastic cargo policy, okay? And and then the next one was getting non-renewed by Progressive, had to go to Prime, and it was obviously super expensive. Nobody else in the world would take it. So oversized hauler, tons of claims, whatever, okay? But yeah, so without getting into the other story, that's how we did. That's how we did that one. Julian, one of the agents here, we were at a 300 and something $1,000 a month, high 300s. Julian wrote 270. Wrote a $105,000 account from one of our carriers. They called one of our carriers directly. They go, hey, we can't write it, but let me refer you over to these guys. And so that's why having a really good relationship with your guys' carriers makes a massive difference. I take every opportunity I can to go see them. We went and visited the CEO, the COO, our rep, all our head underwriters, claims guys, everything. In person, drove there, got to meet them all, met them all a couple times, go to the conferences they're at. They love us, we love them, everything, right? So they referred a company to us. We had a program that would listen to a story. They're using common sense underwriting. New program we just got, threw them with them, worked out, okay? If you guys know what a program is, go watch my other videos. Wrote a $33,000 one with IAT, 3 trucks. They were paying $50,000, huge savings. Again, got the quote back right away. It was with one of our underwriters we met in person through MCIF. Fantastic, absolute killer. $6,000 one with Geico. The other one we wrote Nirvana. Nirvana's physical damage was really expensive, so we had to place that with one of our other direct carriers. Be very, very careful splitting up coverages, guys. You guys got to read those policies. Some of them got 5,000 earned freight, 5,000 towing, 5,000 whatever. It's pretty nasty stuff, okay? So we ended up splitting that up, and he came from Great West, and we saved him 20 grand. So it went from 100 to 80. I think he had a couple others there too. Maybe. Yeah, he definitely did because 100, 185, 191, and then what is that, like 33. So he hit a couple other ones too. Oh, there was also another direct carrier as well. Can't remember. I think that was a cold call. So there's that. $33,000 one was referral. $80,000 one was also a cold call. We use cab to go see all this stuff and cold call people. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of a little bit of an insight on just how we bound those accounts, what they looked like, what they were, what we did with it. Yeah, I mean, who we kind of placed them with. So we got a couple of good direct carriers that are really good. But shoot, yeah, I mean, you just got to find good talent, have good agents, walk with them every step of the way, help them place stuff. I spend my weekends, it's 11 o'clock on a Friday. I spend my weekends researching this stuff, knowing this stuff, knowing all the carriers, figuring out everybody's appetite. I got a whole portal. If you guys want to watch, I've got a discount code for Gravity Certs. I live and die by Gravity Certs. My website helped me like crazy with this stuff. I can go filter who's gonna take what, and I can go put all my stuff in there. And so I can go check every single dang option because I got sick of losing to people I had, or how the heck did he get this one qualified but I didn't, because I knew this stuff, because I started learning this stuff. So good relationship with brokers, with the underwriters, brokers, whatever you call them. Hire good agents. I did social media, figure out cold calling, good relationship with your carriers, all that stuff. I did have a couple wins from Trusted Choice. That was really about it. And one of the big accounts went out of business. So Trusted Choice is definitely not a bad option. But yeah, it's very few and far between that I write with them. So I don't like buying leads. But none of it was really buying leads or anything like that. Paid advertisements, nothing. So I'm Hunter with Nelson Insurance. Thanks for watching, guys.